Welcome back. Good day. In our last class, we stopped here while we were trying to draw the projection line. Right. But let me take my time now to explain to us what we talked about 2D orthographic projection. Right. So let me come to the Word document. Orthographic projection, the definition of an orthographic projection is a two-dimensional drawing of a three-dimensional object using two or more additional drawings to show additional views of the object. That's what we talk about the front. That's the projection, which is the front. You have the top, the plan, the right side, which is the end. It could be the left or the right side, which is the end, depending on the direction of projection. Now we have the first and the third angle projection, right? For clarity, let me try and do this. For clarity, if you see, this is a third angle projection, right? For third angle projection, you have your front elevation in your third angle, while your projection line will be in your first angle. While first angle projection, when we're dealing with first angle projection, sorry about that, trying to get something done from the internet. This is your first angle projection, right? While you have your elevation in your first angle. Most times, we often miss it when you're asked to do first or third angle projection. What you just know is another way of making it easy for you. If this is your first angle, second angle, third angle, and the fourth angle. Now, this is my own way of getting to identify them, right? Make the elevation is always in the front, in the first angle, while the projection line fall in the third angle. While for third angle projection, your front view falls on your third angle and your projection line falls on your first angle. So let's come back to our AutoCAD. Now, this is a 3D drawing that we have here, the 3D drawing with all the dimensions, and we want to, if we're going to draw the projection, it will be like this. And this is viewing from, if this is the plan, that means our projection line is, let me try and do this now and see. It's being projected from, okay, let me increase the line width to make what I want to do clearer. Okay, landing with 10. Then I want, I showed us how to use the polyline to draw arrow. I'm trying to show you the arrow, the direction of a projection. So let me choose a different layer to draw this so that it will be more visible for us to see, right? This is the direction that they are projecting from in this drawing. So let's try and draw this. I'll just place this by the side, and you can actually bring a picture into the AutoCAD workspace. Like this you're seeing now is a JPEG document. I just copied and placed here, right? It's not my drawing, but we're just going to use it to learn. You can always get this from the internet. It's free because it's not being charged. It's on the Google. You can Google this out. So let's just draw. Now, I'm going to draw my projection line. This is what we're trying to achieve, viewing from this part, right? Now, we're going to make use of hidden lines to show hidden details. So I'm going to come back to layer to create a hidden line, right? Come to create hidden lines. Okay, I'll click. Now I'll come to continue. Let me call it hidden line so that, right? So These are all, let me call them outlines. Let's rename them outline 1. This will be my outline 2. Line 2, sorry, 2. Then this, I'll rename and give it outline 3. Line 3. And this, my fourth layer, will be my outline 4. Right. That is done. Then I'll come to hidden line where we have the line type. I'll change it to hidden line. Just type H to take us to hidden line. I'll pick the second one. Right. Now I'm going to change my line weight. Let's give it value. Hidden line is the same thing as outline. I'll use 0.35. My center line is part of construction line. I will use 0.09. Sorry, I have to change this to my construction line because I need, or let's call it the projection line, what we use as our projection line. So let's call it projection line for clarity. Projection line. Okay. That is done. So my projection line is now my projection line is more or less a construction line too. So I'll leave it at 0.09. Okay. My outline 2 is a major line. So outline 3, they will all take the line weight of the default that we're going to use as our default. So my construction line is current. I'll click to close. So now let's start. This drawing now, as it is here now, this is a first angle projection. Or is it a third? Can you guess what it is? I've showed us before, right? So now let's look at it holistically. This is the projection now. You can see I told you I use common mistake. So let's look at what they've done here. But I'm not going to, what they've done here, this is the first angle projection. This is your elevation. This is the plan, and this is the end view. But we are going to draw something different. We are going to use this as our plan. As our elevation. We are viewing from this direction. That's why I use the pink to show the direction, right? Maybe let me do something there. Let's make it clearer. So, let's check the properties of this line and see how we can adjust to see how it will be okay for us to see. Okay, now I'm going to just erase that and make it, let me actually change property before I draw so that it becomes obvious. So I'll come to Polyline. I want us to project from here. My beginning weight, enter, I'll put 10, enter, and my ending weight 10, enter. So once we come here, over here again, enter, my beginning, let me put 50, enter, and my ending 0, enter. Right. Okay. Yeah. So we can see it well now. So we were not projecting the same way they're projecting, but we're going to do ours this way. But we're going to do ours in a third angle projection, right? We're doing ours in third angle. So let's just place this by the side while I'll use pan to place it properly. Okay, I actually want to be seeing the dimensions that we have here, right? That's what we're going to use to draw. So maybe we'll come to it from time to time. First, I'm going to use my construction line, vertical, right? I'll type V for vertical. So click, enter. Now, sorry about this. This is not the line, the line type we wanted to use as our projection line. We actually created the name projection line. So I'll select it, come to my layers, then pick projection line, select, escape to end. Then I'll come back and make the projection line current. So I've set it current. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to uh, come back to construction line. Construction line, this time I'll put a horizontal. Enter, right? Place it here. Now, next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to draw my projection line. So I'll repeat construction line. This time, A for angle, enter 45 degrees, enter, place it here, right click. Then I'll trim. Select, right click, and trim this part off because my drawing is going to be in this area. So now, like I was trying to explain before we end the last class, our drawing will start 10 millimeters away from the projection lines. So all I'm going to do now is to offset. So I'll come to offset, then offset distance will be 10, 10, enter. I'll click move up. So let me increase so that you see. Click move down, then come this way and this way. Now, there's something you need to know. In the projection line, it projects to this 45 line and move this way. So from time to time, we'll be trimming off. So I'll right click enter, I'll trim this off and trim this off. That's our projection line set for our drawings to start. Now, enter. The first drawing starts from this point outwards. And the other drawing down here starts from this point outward. So now it will be very wise to come to your object snap and select intersection so that you'll be able to get this point. So my intersection is already selected. You come there. Now let's go to the drawing itself. Viewing from this part, from my yellow part, red mark, the isometric drawing. So we know this, there's 60, right? The width is 60. Then let's calculate the height. We have 20. We have 20 here. 20 plus 55. So first of all, we draw a box of 60 by 75. So we'll come, remember, now we are starting the drawing. So I'll change. I'm going to be, okay, let's do it like this. I'm not going to change yet the properties. Let's try and draw. When we get there, I'll do the part. I'll select polyline. Now remember, polar tracking. That is where we are going to use our polar tracking very well. Is the elevation we want to draw first. So I'll click and move this way. Now that's supposed to be 60, 60, enter. Then I'll move down, 75, 75, enter, and move this way. Now by default, I can just touch, click, then C, enter. I already have this. Now, for clarity, I will select this. It's supposed to be one of my outline. Come out and pick outline 4. Now let's come to the drawing. We have to do some calculation here, right? From this base up to 60, from the base up to 60, height of 60, that's where the chamfer started from. And the full height is 75, right? So that means 15. From here, from this area to the top is 15. Now let's look. This one is supposed to also be 60, now it's 45. That means this chamfer is 45, 15 by 15. So we'll come to the drawing, that's this area. So we'll come to chamfer. Now modify. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, chamfer. Then I'll type D to determine my distance. Distance 1 is 15. Enter. Distance 2 is 15. Enter. I'll come, click, and click. That is done. Now let's come back to the drawing. Right. We've basically done the surface. Now this bottom that we have remember, we have from 60 to, from the base going up 20 first before the 55. So we are going to have a line that is going to cross. So we'll come back using this time. Let's use line here. Now we'll come here, we'll move up, that's 20, 20 up, enter. Then we'll move this way, it's just crossing. So we just stop here, it's cutting. Now we'll select it. We'll select and take it to take the property of outline 4. That is done. Now also remember that when you come back to the drawing, the middle is 40. There's a hole at 40. But let's see, by giving this hole width of 40, what is the height? How do we get the height? Let's see. Let's see. Now, if you look at the drawing, with the design intent here, you can see that if from here to here is 10, from here to here is 10, and it's flushing all through, that means it's all 10. From here to here is 10, from here to here is 10, right? So now we'll come back to create that hole. You see, that's the beauty of using the mouse. I'm just scrolling up and down to zoom in and out. So now we're going to do this in a very easy way. We'll click on line, we'll come to the middle of the line. So always come and make sure in your object snap, your midpoint is checked. So now I'll come back to the middle of the line here. I'll click. Now it's 40. That means 20 left, 20 right. So I just click and move this way. I put 20, enter. Then I move up 10, enter. Come this way. Now 40, 40, enter. Then I just come vertically straight down and cut. Select. Then I can delete this if I like, delete off. Then select the line and come back and let it take the property of the projected line. So now, of the outline, sorry. So let's come back to our drawing. Now, the next thing here, you see, this drawing is actually really independent anyway, but let's continue. We're seeing this hole, right? Now, let's try to get the height of the hole. The diameter is 20 of the hole on this face, right? So let's see. Now it happens to be midpoint of the width, midpoint of the width. Now which height are we going to? So let's see, is it there? Okay, if we look at this 60 from the floor down, now we can't use that 60. We can use the 55. The 55, right? So the midpoint of this line 55 would have been okay for us to use to get this. But the way it is, let's come back to our drawing and see if we can get it by mainly looking at it, trying to, because the hole in the flat base is given, but we cannot see that from the angle of projection, from the direction of projection we're working on, we cannot actually see that. So let's come back and try and locate to see. So I'll click on line. I'll come to the midpoint here. See. Now, if I come here, now the first box we drew that gave us the height and the width, because our object now, the geometric center there is what you're saying. Now you realize that, let's see, let's just leave it at this and see, let's come back and compare the drawing. You see that? Okay, let's draw the diameter of 20 and see what we'll have, right? Now, this line is not straight. So I'm going to delete it because my polar tracking did not, I didn't follow my polar tracking. So now, if I go like this, you see, I know you'll be wondering now, that's supposed to be the midpoint of this line, but it's not taking us to the center of the geometry. The center of this geometry changed when we did the beveling, the chamfer, sorry, when we beveled this part, when we did the chamfer and beveled this part, the center of geometry changed because the center of this geometry is with reference to this. So in order to actually get the proper center now, you see the center of this line has also changed. Where we may probably get the correct, you see it's linking, this one is polar tracking now that is helping me track, but I'm not going to do that. I know the midpoint, when we're looking for the midpoint of the horizontal, as in the midpoint of this line from the side, is going to be 30. So I just type 30, enter. Now that line is straight. So let me draw a circle on the line. I have to, so that a circle of a diameter. So I type D, enter, diameter of 20, enter. So let's compare our drawing and see, is it actually correct? Is it correct with what we're seeing there, right? Now, let's come here and see what they did. You see, you can see here, this is what we're trying to achieve, right? You can see we got this part of 30, but what we didn't get is this part. Now, I was trying to see if the values were given here, as they were not given. So let's see. Let's see how to achieve that, right? So let me do this now. I'll come, click here, then move up and type 20. So now the midpoint was actually supposed to be where that vertical line that I just put is. Now let me do this now. Let's see what will happen. If I draw a line from this point to this point, enter, let me repeat line, and look for the midpoint of this line and move. You see, it's still not there. Correct. Now, what does this tell us? Let's come back here and see this properly now. That means this drawing was not completely defined in dimension in this isometric drawing, right? The dimension, the values for the location of this center hole was not completely given, right? What was missing was the height from this. That's why I had to come to this to check for it. Now, when you're doing this drawing, when you're giving the isometric drawing to give the projected drawing, you have to be given that dimension. Like some of us will just go ahead and start doing what I was doing now, and you end up not getting it properly because there is a position or there is a dimension that wasn't given. So let's come back to our drawing, knowing the dimension properly here. So let's come back here now to our drawing. So I'm coming, this circle is supposed to start from here. I'm not going to delete. I've shown us how to move objects, or I can just simply delete it, then come back to circle and click here. Now, circle is a diameter of 10, diameter of 20, so my radius will be 10. 10 is already there by default, enter. So it's supposed to be here. So now, all these lines that I use as my construction line, let me come back because we did not create a construction line. So let's create a construction line too. The lines that we use, I used to call it the lines that we used to do all the dirty work, right? The lines we used to do all the dirty work is our construction line. So I'm going to create two. Construction, sorry, I will just right click and rename. Let me right click and rename, right? Construction line 1, and I'll create another one, construction line 2. All right, so now I'll make my construction line 1 current, I'm done with the projection line. I made my projection line. I'm going to come back to the projection line later. Or, okay, I'll use the still construction lines I'll be dealing with. So this, I'll just stretch it a bit further, right? Escape. Then this, I'm going to move it. Since I already know the center of the circle, I'll move it to the center of my circle. Now I'll just stretch it. I'll stretch it out. Now, what I'm supposed to do here, this now, these are supposed to be my center line. So let me change it to center line, right? Now my center line is supposed to go up straight vertical and horizontal. So I'm going to stretch it at least to exceed a little to cross through the drawing I'm going to put there. Or better still, let's leave it. Let's leave it. Let's not. Let me escape. Let me undo. I'll because of some tools I want to show us. So let's leave it at that. Now, are we done with this? Every representation is done. So we're going to come back down to draw. This according to our drawing. This now is our elevation. Our end view is going to be by our right, while the plan will be on top of the elevation. So now there's a tool called ray, right? When you come to draw, you see ray. It starts from a point to infinity. In order not to make mistake, we're going to use to project our lines up. So I'll come here, I'll select ray. I'll start with this line, let it go up, enter, repeat ray. This goes up, right? This part is already defined, right? This line is already defined, right? So now, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to also project this way. Now the circle, I can project from this part up, repeat projection from this, then the next thing I will have to do is to project sideways. So repeat my array. So this line needs to be projected this way. Enter, right click again. I need to project this line. Repeat project array. I need to project this point. So repeat, I need to project this. Then the circle still needs projection. So but let me change this property to our outline, right? So escape to the select. This time I will also come back down, my ray, click, repeat ray, click. Now, next thing I'm going to do now, let me change to outline 2, 3, because I want to draw, we're viewing from here, right? I want to draw the side view now. If I'm viewing from here, that means our side view will be from this side. Our side view will be from this side, right? So we're going to see the L. So now let's come. The thickness of it from here down is 20, right? So then from here up 60 before we have the cross. So I'll just come. So my drawing starts from this part. So I'll use polyline. Let me start from the base here. I'll move this way. Sorry, let's see what that value is. For continue, that's 40. I'm talking of this, 40. So let me scroll back and zoom it out. So coming here, that's 40, 40, enter. Then I'll move up. and stop here. So let's come back to the drawing to know, because we're coming back inside the L shape. Now, at the top, this is 20 to this height, coming this way. So let's see, aha. Now see the thickness. Thickness is 15. Of this bar coming up is 15. So that'll be 40 minus 15. That's going to give us, what would that give us? 40 minus 15. That's 25 or thereabouts. Is that 25? Let's do, okay, I think that's 25. 25 plus 15 will give us 40. So that's 25. Enter, then I'll move up. Wow, there's something wrong. By me looking at it, is this 15? Now you can see I have made a mistake. This is a common mistake. What is the mistake here? I am following this 20 height. This 10, this is 10, this is 10 height. I'm following this, which is wrong. I'm not supposed to follow this. This is wrong, right? I'm supposed to go, so I'll undo. Since I'm using Polyline, I don't have to worry. Once I undo, to take me back to the last time. So I'm supposed to be up here, right? This is a common mistake. I'm supposed to be up here. So you're supposed to look at the diagram that you've drawn in your elevation or your front view is the one that will help you in your side view or end view. So I'm supposed to stop here. That is, then before I'll come 25. So 25, enter. Now I don't have to do any cramming work again. This last. So this is the place. I'll stop here. I'll move this way. Now let's look at this carefully, right? This bevel that we're having here, we cannot get it yet. So let's right click and end here first. So we'll come back to this side from here, from the base, because from the base is a 60 before it joined. So we'll now come back and click on a still polyline. Then we'll come back and start from the base now. Yeah, we'll move 60. So we'll go 60, enter. Then we know that 60, right? Now, who can tell me? All we need to do is just let it cross and end. Repeat the line. We'll come here. It's a box like that we're going to see, right? We'll not see the bevel shape, right? So it's a box like we'll see there. The next thing we're going to see is this circle. Since if the circle passes through, let's see, in their own, let's say the hole passes through, right? If the hole passes through, we're going to see it as a hidden line, right? So let's make our hidden line. Wow. Let me switch it on to switch off. Now let's make our hidden line current. Then we just come and click and just, this is the hole, comes and end here, hidden line, enter. So now repeat hidden line. Since it's passing through, repeat line. From here, we project, look at it. Now we're done with this. Now let's come to the top. Sorry, we'll take a little more time here. I just want us to finish this before we'll go. Looking at it from the plan, right? Looking at it from the plan, now let's project this line. Once it meets this projection line, will come this way. So I'll come back and pick. Now we could do this for the neatness of the drawing, right? Now because these lines were supposed to stop in this part. So we can just come and trim off. I'll click, I'll select this, right click and trim off every other line there. So you have it clean. So between this, right? So now I'll come back and pick my projection line. No, sorry, construction line. Let me pick construction line 1 again. This time I'll use I'll use ray to project up. So this edge will go up. Then another significant edge that needs to go up is this edge, right? Enter. And once they get to this projection line, this 45 line, it terminates and move towards the other side. So I'm going to trim off. So I'll click and trim off the lines on top. So now I'll come back to my ray, click and move horizontally, enter, repeat, ray, click and move horizontally. Now let's draw the box for the plan. So I'm going to choose the second outline to draw that. Now let's come to the drawing now. We are looking at it from top, right? Looking at it from top. Now, sorry, there is something we didn't finish. This hole, this 40 hole, 40 by 10 hole, we're supposed to see it here too as hidden line. That's this line, this part. We're supposed to see it as hidden line. Sorry, I'll take it back to my, I'll take it to hidden line, then draw a line from here to here as my hidden line. You don't have to worry, you'll see it later when we start to switch on and switch off layers, which we'll do. So now I'll come back and pick my two. So let's draw the plan now. Let's come and see. Looking at it from the plan, we're going to see it from top. So we see here, this circle, we're going to see this circle now. We're going to see this part too, right? Then we'll see the hidden line across. So let's come to the drawing. So we need to, so I'll come to construction line 1. We need to project these lines up this time. So I'll come to ray. We need to project this up. Repeat ray, project up. Now, let's try and break out this drawing now. So I'll change to the 2, this time from the plan. So let's click on Polyline. My drawing is supposed to, you need to be careful here. See, you trace. The drawing starts, past, this is a projector line, a projection line. So your drawing starts from here, right? It starts and go all the way to the top and goes all the way down. You draw the first visible box first. Here, then we'll close. Now the next thing, this line, we also trace this line to cut through because it cuts through. That's this line to show the 15 thickness. So we'll just follow the projection line, right? This is the back. Now this is the 15 line I'm talking about. We'll move this way, click here, then we'll move straight to this place. Now, this is the head we're talking about. This part is what is out like this. Now, there is a hole here. There's a hole here. So, and the center line, let's project the center line now. So I'll come to construction line. I'll use ray, right? So, now, let's come to the drawing. The location of this hole is 10, as in diameter of 10, but it's located from the wall down this way, 12.5, right? From 12.5 point here, we'll come to the center of the 40. So I'm coming to the drawing, right? So Now, from here to here, right? So let's try and draw. We'll start from up here, right? Or we can start from here. No, let's start from here and move down 12.5. 12.5. Enter. Then we'll move this way to, that was a 60. So the midpoint will be 30. So we can just take it across and take it to be our center line. This will now be, so this we can change this and this to, okay. Now where they meet, their intersection is the midpoint where we're going to draw the radius, that circle. So I'll escape, then change to my outline, then I'll come. This midpoint, that's where the center, so it's of radius of 5. Now, let's say that hole passes through, right? Then it passes through, so we have to project it to come back down to show it here. So I'll come back and change to my construction line, then pick array, then I'll click here, move this way, repeat. I'll click here and move this way, right? Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to continue with the ray and bring it down. Repeat the ray from here and bring it down. So now I'll trim, right click and trim this off. Right. So I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this drawing. So I'll pick hidden line to this hole. So I'll pick on line. This hole I'll trace down. So it starts and end here, hidden line. So repeat line. So it also ends here, right? So then here we'll project this one down, right? So I'll change to construction line first, then pick ray, click here to go down, repeat ray, click here to go down. Now I have to create that whole hidden line here. So this was drawn with the fourth line. So sorry, it's hidden line I want to create. So I'll click on line. So here there's hidden line here. Enter, then repeat line, there's hidden line here. Enter. Now at this top, because of this big hole, there is hidden line, we'll trace it. Line, let's trace this up from here to here, there's a hole there. Repeat. So we'll come back and trace it from here. So here, there's a hole. Now, once you're done with your drawing, you come to your layers. Now I'm going to come to the bulb. I'll switch off my construction line that I used to do the dirty work. Once I switch off, you can see my drawing as it's drawn. You can see the hidden lines. Now, sorry, there was something we didn't do here. We're supposed to cut this. Now there's supposed to be a projected line up here. So let me switch on the bulb again to finish up. I'll switch on the line has come. You see this line, this bevel, this chamfer area, this line is supposed to cut through. So I'll make this current. I'm supposed to draw this line here for this top, come from here to here. I'm done with that. So now once I switch off the construction line, you can see the drawing. Now let me still go further to switch off my projection line. I'll switch the bulb off and projection line goes. You can see the drawing. Thank you very much. We'll end the class here today. Thank you for your time.